love the holidays, I love Christmas, but there's something about a start to a new year that has always just brought me so much joy. I love the concept of getting to start fresh, for having new dreams, having new goals, and how you want the next year to feel. So this time of the year, the couple weeks before the new year starts, has always been so magical to me, and I wanted to share personally just 20 simple ways to reset for the new year. Things that you can practically do before the start to the new year on just kind of getting that clean slate, starting fresh, and feeling inspiration for when January 1st rolls around. I know not everyone loves this time of year. I feel like there is a lot of pressure sometimes to change things, get that new workout routine, start eating healthy, which those are lovely goals to have. But I do think it's okay to keep things the same. If you like where you're at in life, this doesn't have to be this time to really refresh, recharge, start new. It can be simply keeping things as they are. My first thing is to create a vision board. This was actually something that my sister-in-law Avery, I'll never forget. I think I was like 15 or 16. She said, you know, we should all sit down and make vision boards for the new year. And I was so confused because I didn't really know what a vision board was. And at the time we made it physically with magazines and newspaper clippings, which is honestly much more fun. I think that that's such a fun way to do a vision board, but of course doing it digitally is much easier. And essentially a vision board just shares your vision for the year ahead. This doesn't have to be something that includes crazy goals or anything, but photos that inspire you. Maybe there are certain elements that make you happy. This is always something that I like to do before the start of the year, ever since Avery showed me that, because it really does help you feel inspired. I find things on Pinterest. You can search for quotes. It's honestly so much fun. I think especially if you grab a group of friends, this would be such a fun activity. And I definitely plan on doing this for my year ahead because I definitely see just big, fun changes in 2023. Decluttering your closet. I do this actually quarterly, but I do think, especially going into the new year, that it is so nice to go into the year with only the clothes specifically that you love and enjoy. Of course, it's helpful to declutter your whole place, but there's something about just being able to go into your closet and you know you love every single piece there. You feel confident in all those pieces and you're not carrying baggage literally from the years past of things that just don't bring you joy. And it's also therapeutic. You can make some extra money, sell some things on Poshmark. Always love doing this at the start of a new year. Rearranging your home. This is one of my favorite things to do. Ever since I was a kid, I would just randomly rearrange my room, or at the time I shared a room, and I would be like, Jamie, is it okay if we just switch things around? Because it is so inspiring when you don't have to buy anything new, but you can just switch things around. I'm really thankful that this area behind me right now is kind of a new, fresh space, because I'm so thankful I got to work with a company that sent us these really awesome furniture pieces. But there's something about having just a new space is so refreshing. It helps you feel inspired, especially with what I do making these videos. Having a kind of new canvas to work with in terms of creating content is always really refreshing. Of course, making new goals. I had to put this in here, and don't want this to make you feel pressure to make goals if you don't want to, but I personally think it's a great opportunity to just reflect over the last year and see things you want to change, things you want to keep the same. I do plan on doing a whole separate video on my personal goals. I always like to bucket mine in terms of work, in terms of health, in terms of finances, and then in terms of just personal life. Those are kind of categories that I like to use, and so I will have a video coming out soon, just like I did last year. Clean out your car. This is really random, but there's something about cleaning those areas of your home that often get neglected. I personally just got my car a few months ago, and I remember when I got it, I was like, I'm gonna keep this clean. This is gonna be spick and span, but it has definitely already been shown some love, and so I think it's a great opportunity at the start of the year just to do a deep clean with a vacuum. Maybe you can go get it professionally cleaned, but you can always just go there yourself and clean out your car. It's nice because it's that thing that you use likely every single day, but oftentimes it's easy to neglect it. Putting on fresh sheets. Of course, I think this is great to do probably more than once a year. I like to switch out our sheets every single week, but it's nice because right now we have our Christmas sheets, which I love, and they're bringing me a lot of joy in this season, but I can't lie, I'm really excited to switch them out for just our normal Brooklinen sheets. It's the best feeling when you get into your bed and you have that fresh sheets feeling and so yeah, I definitely look forward to doing that for the new year. And you don't have to go out and buy a new sheet set by any means, but just putting on a clean set is nice, especially if you do it on the first of the year. I think that that's really special. I also think it's helpful to do a digital declutter. For me, I like to go through my laptop, my emails, clear out any spam things that might be on there, and also my desktop, because I do edit my videos. Sometimes there are a lot of different things on my desktop. It can look so messy. And again, that's something that you're likely using every single day, and it's nice to keep it clean, but we can forget to declutter our digital devices too. And on your phone too, I think it's very helpful to do this with apps that you're no longer using, clear out that storage, and also going through who you're following. I think this is a great time to evaluate, do the people that you follow online bring you joy? Do they make you feel good about life? Do they make you feel motivated? Because I know sometimes I personally follow people that I kind of have to reflect and think, is this actually good for me? Our world is increasingly so much more digital these days, and I think that we don't realize how much influence the people that we follow, the content we're seeing every single day, affects us. Really making sure that you're curating your spaces online to be something that makes you feel content and motivated to do good and not feel worse about yourself, your life, comparison. I also think this is a great time to dream, and I think that dreaming is actually much different than goal setting. At least for me, goal setting are typically things that I find to be very attainable, are realistic goals of, I want to save this amount of money, or I want to be able to run this many miles. Those are very practical things, but for me, I am a very practical person. I don't find myself dreaming very easily. And so lately, over the past couple of years, I've been trying to train my brain to dream more and think of those things that just maybe seem a little bit unrealistic, but I think it would be so special to do, in terms of places that I would like to travel to, work things I'd like to accomplish, life milestones that I'd like to hit, just all those things, and really making them seem more feasible in my head. I think it's a great time to just reflect about those big, God-sized dreams that only he can do. This one's a little bit random, but washing your utensils. We recently switched up basically only using wooden utensils. And I was thinking about it the other day that I really feel like we haven't deep cleaned those in a while. We obviously wash them after we use them, but I know it's really easy to use baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and just soaking those utensils. There's something about going into a new year with clean kitchen utensils that I think is really refreshing. And on that same line of thinking, washing your makeup brushes. I think this is a great time to go through your beauty blender. The brushes that you use, I really only use a few, but I definitely can go a long time without washing them. And so let this be your reminder to wash the makeup brushes, wash your kitchen utensils, and just start fresh in those departments too. Printing out photos is another way I think is so fun to just have inspiration and not only think to the new year, all the things you'd like to change, but also reflect on the good memories that you made in the year past. We have this bulletin board over here, and I have a bunch of just random digital photos that we have printed out. I just do this at CVS, Walgreens, and it's always such a mood boost walking into our apartment and just seeing all the people that have brought so much joy into our lives and all the memories that we've made. Kind of on the same line of the vision board, thinking that it's nice to just have all those memories that you've made in the past year, not always be so forgetful, but also to reflect about the good memories that you've had in the past year too. I also always love choosing a word for the year, and I kind of like to start thinking about this a couple of weeks before the year starts. And especially if you're someone who can get overwhelmed by having a bunch of different goals, having one word that kind of casts that vision for the year ahead, I think is really sweet. And I actually know my word this year. I'll probably share it in the goals video. Sorry, I have my tea right here. And it's kind of a good way just to have a focus for the year, and that word can kind of cast vision for the other goals that you have in your life too. And of course, just having a deep cleaning day. I know I mentioned deep cleaning the car. There are a couple other spots that I have to mention too, but just doing a general deep cleaning I think is so nice. We just did this before a Christmas party that we hosted, and it felt so good to just go in all those nooks and crannies that you often forget. If I must admit, I am really excited to take down the Christmas decor this year. I think because I decorated so early this year that I am ready to have just a clean space that is clutter free. I will also have a video on that too, of undecorating and making our place feel fresh again. Yeah, I think this is a great time just to deep clean, start fresh, and that also being carried over to your space too. I also think it's helpful to have a life admin day, and specifically this is a day that you assign to do all the things you kind of been avoiding in terms of making doctor's appointments, having those phone calls, paying bills, these boring little things that we can often put off but then kind of loom over us. I feel like there are a lot of those things, especially at the beginning of a new year, all those appointments you have to make, bills to pay, all that jazz. And so just sitting down, making a to-do list and covering all your bases in a day specifically, I think is really helpful. Have a sunrise date with yourself. This can also be a sunset date. For me, I feel so at peace and in tune with God when I am out in nature, whether that be watching a sunset by the ocean is specifically something that I love. If you live near an ocean, you must do this for me this year, because I just think that it's such a good time to pray and reflect and get a much clearer vision on your goals, where you are, where you want to be. And for me, I think that doing that during a sunrise or a sunset is just especially more special. So I'm planning on doing this either tomorrow or the next day, and I cannot wait. If you're a morning person, make it a sunrise date. If you're an evening person, make it a sunset date. I didn't want to put a ton of things that required purchasing things in this video, but I do think it is nice to start your year with a new plant. There's something about bringing new life into your home that I think is very inspiring, and I actually just did this a couple days ago with this guy right here. I find a lot of fulfillment through kind of nurturing things, whether that be plants, whether that be making dinner at night. I find a lot of joy in just kind of providing in those ways, and there's something about taking care of a plant that I think is just so nice, especially at the start of the year, bringing in some new life. Prioritizing movement. Now, I don't want this to be a toxic line of thinking where you need to start this whole new gym routine and put all this pressure on yourself, but if you do watch my videos, you do know that exercising and fitness is something that I really love, and over the years I have developed a very healthy relationship with it, and it always used to be that way. And so I think when it comes to the new year, it's a good time to think about ways that you can prioritize movement that's healthy for you. That doesn't have to be intensive cardio, that doesn't have to be, you know, signing up for a new soul cycle class or whatever it is. It can just be prioritizing going on more walks or bike riding around your city or doing like stretching in the morning, something that's more simple. I do think that having movement does enrich your life, and it obviously is good for your body, but it needs to be in the right way. Cleaning your washer and dryer. This is something that I have not done since we moved into this apartment, and so I definitely plan on doing this at the start of the new year. I'm not sure exactly how you do this, but I was just gonna Google and find a simple solution. I was just thinking about it the other day that this is the thing that washes all of our clothes, and I have actually never washed it before, so let this be your sign too if you also have not. Learn something new. I definitely want to do this in the new year. I think it's easy to go through life, through all the mundane adult tasks that we have to do, and realize that you haven't actually been learning anything new. And so I've been thinking about something that I want to try to study more and just learn about. I really have been enjoying reading lately. I've been trying to make it more of a habit in my life, and so let this be your sign too, to try to push yourself to learn something new, whether that be cooking, gardening, a simple topic that you want to learn more about. I think is really helpful. I think in the last year I really learned about my own health a lot. That was something that I tried to research and read about in terms of my cycle as a woman and all that, and that was really fulfilling to do. So I definitely want to find my new thing this year. And lastly is to buy yourself flowers. This is something that I love to do, but especially at the start of a year, I think is really sweet to go make yourself your own bouquet. Maybe at Trader Joe's. Personally, if you're in Texas, I love Central Market. They have beautiful flowers and they will make you a really pretty bouquet. But it's nice to get inspired just with having, you know, those beautiful, more vibrant colors in your home, and it's just a nice pick-me-up for starting the year. Maybe go get yourself flowers and then make a vision board. I feel like that would be a fun little New Year reset date. But that is everything. I hope this video was just inspiring and helped you think of a few ways to reset for the new year. Let me know too if you have anything that I didn't mention that you think is also a good idea. Feel free to leave that down below. I would love to hear. And yeah, you guys just mean so much to me, and I appreciate you all, and I hope that you've had a really sweet 2022, and if not, that 2023 is much better. I believe that there are many better days ahead, and yeah, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.